Hello, good morning class. How are you? Thank you very much. So last time when we met, we were looking at factors that affect high birth rate in poor countries, and we discussed the following factors. Number 1, lack of family planning. Number 2, lack of sexual education in women. Number 3, children are used as wealthy for families. Number 4, early marriages. Number 5, lack of contraceptives such as condoms and pills. So these are some of the factors that we discussed that causes high birth rate in poor countries among them. Now, for today, we are going to look at settlement. So class, what comes in your mind when you hear this word settlement? So, Deborah, what do you understand by the term settlement? Okay, thank you so much. Peter, what do you understand by this term settlement? Okay, thank you very much. Mike, what do you understand by this term settlement? Okay, thank you very much. So all the answers that the colleagues have given, they are very correct. But we are going to look at this simple definition that we are going to be going with. Okay, so settlement, we say this is a place where people live. Settlement, this is a place where people live. For example, Ansibalo village, okay, where we are here, it is a settlement. Ansibalo village is a settlement. Another practical example that we can give is Victoria. This is the capital city of Seychelles. Here where we are in Seychelles, it is also an example of a settlement. And also another city in South Africa called Cape Town. It is also an example of a settlement. Okay class, are we together on this one? Okay, thank you very much. We proceed. Now, there are two terms that we need to understand for us to understand or get the concept of settlement properly. So there are two terms that are associated with settlement, and these are, one, it is site, and also situation. So how do we define site? We are saying in relation to settlement, site, this is the actual place where the building was built, or this is the actual place where the settlement has been built on. This is how we define site in relation to settlement. We are saying site, this is the actual place where the building or a settlement has been built on. Okay? Now, we are also going to look at the factors. We shall look at the factors that affect the location of sites, or factors that influences the location of settlements rather. Okay? The factors that affect the location of sites, or the factors that affect the location of a settlement. One, we have climate. So when we talk of climate, we mean the favorable weather conditions. The temperatures are good and not excessive. You don't have heat in those particular places. You don't have, the places are not cold. The places are not so much, hot. And the place also receives enough rainfall. Okay, so these are some of the climatic conditions that make it possible or favorable for people to go and settle or reside in those particular areas. We can also talk of availability of water. If you have water that is readily available for people to use, for example, for cleaning, drinking, and also for use in farms, and also for giving animals. Okay? Also, wet points. When we talk of wet points, we mean places that are closer to water supply. Places that are closer to water supply, people will go and settle in those particular places because they will not have to struggle for them to find water to use for their daily needs. Okay? Also another factor, it is a dry point. Dry points, these are places that cannot experience flooding. So areas that cannot experience flooding, you see people going there to settle in those places. Another factor, it is the quality of soil, or we can say the the place that has got fertile soil. Okay, if you have fertile soil, it means you can be able to do agricultural practices. When we say agriculture, we mean the production of crops or the growing of crops and rearing of animals, okay, for consumption and also for making profit. Okay, another factor, it is called relief. When we say relief, we mean the land is flat. The land is flat, one, for construction of houses, okay, construction of shops, and also for farming activities. So if the land is quite flat, you see a lot of people going to settle in those particular places, because one, they'll be able to do their farming, their farming activities properly. Also, they'll be able to build their houses, schools, and so many other social amenities that can help people to live in a good way in their day-to-day lives. Okay, so remember, in the first place we said there are two terms that we must understand when we are looking at settlement. So we said, one, we have site, and we defined what site is, and we also looked at some of the factors that affect site. Also, we have situation. So we are saying situation, this is the position of the settlement in relation to the surrounding area. This is where the settlement now, or the building, is situated. Okay, it might be near the river, it might be near shops, it might be near certain facilities. Okay, we are saying the site, it is the position of the settlement in relation to the surrounding areas. So I gave an example. I said, one, it could be near rivers, it could be near shops, and so many other facilities that would necessitate for people to go and reside in those particular areas. Now, we have factors that affect situation, or what makes people to go and reside or find themselves to settle in certain places. One of the factors, it is transport routes. Okay, transport route, or we can say good road network. People can be able to access that particular place, can be able to go to the market, they can be able to go and buy different commodities for them to go and use in that particular area where they are. They can go out, they can also come in. We can also talk of the proximity to the market. This word proximity to the market, it means the place is nearby, the place is near the market. People can be able to go and sell their produce. They can also be able to go and buy their produce in those particular places. For example, the market, they can be able to go and buy their produce, rather they can go and buy products at the market. They can also go and sell the products, for example, that they can farm from their particular farms. Okay, also we can talk of telecommunication system. Okay, if you have good communication system in that particular place, people will be able to go and settle in those areas, because one, they will be able to communicate with people, they will be able to make certain transactions, they will be able to transact business, they will be able to do money transactions. So these are some of the factors that do affect the location of settlements. Class, are we together? Any question? If there is no any question, we continue. Okay, we are also going to look at the types of settlements. Okay, so there are two types of settlements, and these are: one, we have rural settlement; two, we have urban settlements. Okay.